Welcome to this explainer. If you're a focused learner looking to totally level up your daily habits, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're diving into a concept that's literally going to flip how you look at self-improvement, productivity, and your own daily routines. We're talking about the ultimate showdown, motivation versus discipline. We're going to unpack why everything we've been taught about, getting motivated is completely backwards, and how we can actually build an autopilot system instead.
Let's hit this hard truth right out of the gate. Motivation is not going to save you. It never has. I mean, wow, how many times have we all told ourselves, I'll do it when I feel ready, or I'll start when I get the motivation? Our source material points out a pretty devastating reality here. If you wait to feel ready, you're going to be waiting forever. We're basically relying on this phantom savior that almost never shows up when we actually need it.
So let's jump into section 1, the motivation scam, the great illusion.
We all buy into this massive myth about success, don't we? We picture these high achievers jumping out of bed at 5 a.m., absolutely buzzing with energy and this unstoppable drive every single day. But our source completely dismantles this. The reality is far less flashy. Successful people simply built systems that do not require motivation at all. Success isn't some rare character trait or a genetic lottery of energy. It's purely structural design. They aren't relying on a fleeting feeling. They're relying on a solid framework.
Which brings us to section 2, why motivation always fades.
So, if motivation isn't the engine of success, what exactly is it? And more importantly, why does it ditch us so fast? Well, motivation is fundamentally chemical. It's literally a chemical reaction in your brain that spikes when something is new, exciting, or urgent, but it naturally fades the exact moment routine sets in. Honestly, I find this incredibly liberating to understand. Losing your excitement for a new goal isn't a character flaw. It doesn't mean you're lazy or that you don't care enough. It's literally just how the human brain processes routine. Our brains are wired to love novelty, and they naturally conserve energy once a pattern is established.
Think about the last time you set a huge new goal. Day 1, you felt totally unstoppable. You bought the gear, you downloaded all the apps. But by day 4, that chemical spike is completely leveled out. The excitement is gone, but the goal remains. Only the feeling changed. If your entire plan depends on a feeling that chemically evaporates in less than a week, your plan was broken from the start. This right here is exactly why gyms are absolute ghost towns by the second week of February. It's not because people have weak willpower, it's because they built their entire foundation on a temporary chemical spike instead of a sustainable structure.
Let's move to section 3, discipline, deciding just once. We need to totally forget what we thought we knew about discipline. It is not about trying harder or clenching your jaw and just suffering through it. It's actually way simpler. Discipline is just removing the daily decision entirely and letting your actions run on autopilot. You're taking willpower out of the equation completely. This ends your daily internal battles because the choice has already been made.
Let's compare what your mornings probably look like right now versus what they could look like. Think about that burning energy side. Every single time you wake up and argue with yourself, do I really feel like going to the gym today? Maybe I can just go later. You are burning up precious cognitive energy. Highly disciplined people don't do this. Instead, they decide once. The rule is, I work out at 6 a.m., no negotiation. Those super disciplined people you admire aren't stronger than you. They aren't having that intense morning argument and winning. They just made the decision weeks or months ago, and they completely stopped revisiting it. They put the behavior on autopilot.
All right, section 4, goals versus systems.
Now that we understand the power of deciding once, we need to actually apply it. Shifting your focus here changes everything. You see, a goal is just a distant outcome, like I want to get fit or I want to write a book. The problem is, you can't directly control a distant outcome, which makes it super easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results. A system, on the other hand, relies entirely on daily actions that you control completely. For example, I walk 20 minutes every day before checking my phone. You completely control whether or not you take that walk. When you build a system like this, you don't even need to feel motivated. You just execute the daily process you already set up. You just check the box for today.
And that leads us right into section 5, build your autopilot rule.
Okay, we've busted the motivation myth and we see the power of systematic discipline. Now, here is your exact playbook. Step 1, pick one thing, just one, that you keep relying on motivation for. Step 2, turn it into a strict rule with zero decision required. The source text gives a phenomenal, precise example here. Instead of saying, I'll write when I feel inspired, The rule becomes, I write for 10 minutes every morning before I have coffee. There is absolutely no ambiguity there. And finally, step 3, remove the feeling entirely. It genuinely doesn't matter if you feel tired, cranky, or totally uninspired. The rule is the rule. The autopilot just takes over.
Now, before we wrap up, I want to make one thing absolutely clear. We are not demonizing motivation here. It's still going to show up sometimes. You'll have days where you get this incredible chemical rush of excitement for your work or your workout. And when it happens, that's fantastic. Enjoy it. Ride that wave. But the core lesson here is this: do not build your life around it. Treat motivation like a nice little bonus, not the foundation of your success. Oh, and by the way, make sure you stay tuned because in our next explainer, we'll be diving into a 30-day tracking experiment based on these exact principles, with absolutely no shortcuts, to show exactly what happens when you run on pure systems.
So, I want to leave you with this burning question. What is the one daily decision you need to put on autopilot today? Seriously, don't wait for the chemical spike. Don't wait until tomorrow morning to argue with yourself all over again. Decide right now. Build your system and stop relying on motivation to save you. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Go build your autopilot, and I'll see you in the next one.